Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends! This year should be a special schus. Rabbi Yitzchak ben Chana, Maris Henner Bas Chana, Maris Alta Chana, Bas Reb Meir Zev, and Maris Chana, Bas Reb Yitzchak And for Gilul Shoshana Bas Necha Gittel, Zara Shel Kayama, and for Shendi Chana Bas Malka, Bracha Batzlacha Uchamat Seyadeh, and for Moshe ben Peshetina, Bracha Batzlacha Uchamat Seyadav, for Rabbi Yitzchak ben Esther, Yosef Ezra ben Esther. Only good things, sweet friends. We're going to be learning B'siyata D'Shmaya about a mummer, about a mishumed. This is a very, very big sugya in halacha of the status of people who go off the derech, people who chas v'shalom convert. Recently there was in the news, lo aleinu, of people who publicly converted, people who grew up very, very frum, and publicly converted to a different religion, Rachmana litzlan. And unfortunately, it's quite common that Jews are living as non-Jews following other religions, whether it's Buddhism or Christianity. So what's the status of such people? Also, there's a mummer of Michal Shabbos. There's a mummer, he's considered a mummer l'chol haTorah kula. He's considered an apostate. He doesn't keep Shabbos. Also, avodah zara. He's considered a mummer l'chol haTorah kula. So what's the halachic status of these people? So we're going to be basing this year, we could actually give about 10 of them, 15 of them, just on a siman in the Sefer Tehillah, the David, of Agona Gadol of David Yitzchak Man, and siman Lamed Aleph in Yoredeya. It's marich ma'od me'od, kedarko b'kodesh, with tremendous gaonus in this sugya. And there are others, it's Shuv and the Divrei Yetziv of the Kloisenberger, maybe I'd like to discuss. And a lot of literature on this topic. We'll begin with the Hagos Mordechai and Yevamis of Kuf Zayin, who brings the name of Nisan Gon, that there's no kedushin for a mummer. Person marries a mummer, mumeres. Kedushin isn't toifus. And this is brought in the Itter, in Hilchas Kedushin, which is brought in the Beis Yosef, in Even Ezer Siman Mem Dalid, and in the Meiri, at the end of the first parak of Yevamis, and in the Otzer Apostate, in Ever Siman Mem Dalid, Os Chav Ches, he brings the various shitas. Otzer Apostate is a good sefer to use. Nice, concisely brings the various sources. You can look in the sources themselves for a more broad picture. But the shaila is that it's very, very difficult to understand. How could it be that Kedushin aren't tofes? We have a rule in Sanhedrin Mem Daled Amud Aleph, Yisrael shachata Yisrael. Even though a Jew sins, Afal pi shachata Yisrael. Even though a Jew sins, bleib dayid, nishar Yehudi. As how do we say that Kedushin aren't tofes b'mummer as if he's not Jewish? And this is the Kash of Rashi brought in the Mordechai in Perek HaCholei, Tzos Chavtes, Ayin Sham. The Rashba, the Ritvan, Ruka Yosef, and Yevamis Chav Beis Amud Aleph, when they bring this Shita, Ayin Sham, and in the Torah, and Even Ezer, and Siman Mem Daled, Beis Yosef, Bach, Biur Agra, Even Ezer, Siman Kuf Zayin, Sif Chot Beis, and Noch, many Sfarim talk about this. And that's why we don't pass like this Shita. Because what do you mean? The guy's not Jewish. Yisrael, Afal Pi Shachata Yisraelu. So how do we understand this Shita? Or Zarul, Chasiyibum, Kedushin, Siman Tafresh Dalet is also Tameya. That Bevadai, B'Kedusha Seikai, he still retains his Kedusha. And even though he's Parish Menatzibur and he thinks he's a Goy, but the Pasuk says in Yechezkel, Perek Chav, Pasuk Lamed Beis, Vol Aruchem Ayolo Siya, the Jews, you want to leave religion. You want to be like Goyim. Asher atem omrim niya kagoyim. Hashem says, "Segaitnish. It's not going to go. It's not going to work. You're going to remain Jews by flame or by fury. You're going to remain Jewish." So what's the biur of this shita? And the Achronim were very marich. Ayin b'otzer aposkin. The sof hadavar, sof hadavar tzarich biur. So this is actually kemat mafurish in the Rishonim, but we'll begin with the mahalach that Rav Man himself thought of, and then afterwards found many sources to marshal this thesis. And that is as follows: that it says numerous times in the Torah that there's a bris for Shemiras Torah and mitzvahs. And there were two brisos. One was the bris Sinai, one was the covenant at Sinai, and the other was the covenant at Moab. Sinai is Parashas Mishpatim, Perek Chav Daled, Psukim Heidaches, talks about the bris there. And the other was at Arvas Moav, on the cusp of the entry into Eretz Yisrael. Like it says in Parashat Tzav, in Pasuk Chav Perek Chav Tes, Pasuk Tes, Atem Nitzav Mayom, Lo Avru, Pasuk Yud Aleph, Lo Avru Chabivris Hashem Elokechu V'Olaso. And Pasuk Yud Gimel, V'lo Yitchem Levatchem Enochi Korei Bris Hazos, Nacham Ola Bris. Ramban writes that the bris in Arvas Moav was in the same way as the bris at Sinai. Like it says in Parashas Mishpatim, they were Makav in Olah, and half the blood they threw on the Mizbeach, and half on the Jews. And that it says in Perek Chav Tes, Psukim Chav Dal and Chav Hey, V'rom al asher azu bris Hashem Elokei Avoisam asher karasim abotzi osam eretz Mitzrayim. V'yelchu v'yavdu Elohim acherim. Azivas habris in the Onesh. Also Parashas Vayelech Perek Lamed Aleph Pasuk Tes Zayin. V'yomer, etc. V'azavani v'hefer it's brisi. Kol hazman medabrim po al hakavanit shelanu, al habrit shelanu. Also it says v'niyatzuni v'hefer it's brisi. Also in Parashas V'eschanan Perek Dalet Pasuk Chav Gimel. Hishamru lechem pen tishkeru es bris Hashem Elokechem asher karasi machem. Ve'od and noch. It's pashut that through these brisos, besides that the Jews were mischayev at Har Sinai to be Mekayim the Torah, there was also a bris, v'kabolas bris, l'shmiras HaTorah v'amitzvahs. We see in Sota, Lamed Zayin Amid Beis, Ba'arichus, a number of brisos on each mitzvah. They talk there about the bris Sinai and the bris of Arvas Moav, and then there's a bris on Talmud Torah, Shabbos Lamed Gimel Amid Aleph, and bris El Torah, Shenemer Emlo Bris Yom Amalayla. So we have a bris at Chorev and a bris in Arvas Moav to keep the Torah. And somebody who's chas v'shalom, not shomer es HaTorah, not only is he being over al tzivui Hashem, who was mechayiv the Jewish people chol ha-mitzvahs, he's mefer as mashen is chayiv bebris. What it says in Parashas Yisro, Perek Yotes Pasuk Hey V'ata im shamo atishmu b'koilu yishmartem es brisi. And Rashi says, brisi she'echrosi mochem al shmiras HaTorah, special bris. V'cheinu b'Ibn Ezra, in sham also in the Ramban. So we see here two things. We see v'atayim shamo tishmu b'koili, and we also see you have to listen to God's voice. You have to keep mitzvahs, but also shmartim is brisi. There has to be a shmiras habris. There's this bris. There's this covenant that we have to keep that we had in Sinai and Arvas Moav. And this inyan of bris is not just a chizuk to keep the mitzvahs that we made this covenant, that both sides obligate themselves in this covenant. It's more than that. It's an inyan bifnei atzmo shel mitzius v'chalos b'Yisrael b'kabalas haTorah b'chiyuv mipi Hashem. So on one hand, we have this obligation to keep the mitzvahs. That's one chalos. And in addition, there's this bris with Hashem on the Torah and mitzvahs. So we're Yisrael, who are mischayev b'mitzvahs. We have Shem Yisrael. And number two, we're b'nei bris. We're b'nei brith. And this really, I'm saying this shir that we started, again, we can have many, many, many installments. But this is the yesod that's going to run through the entire, however far we get. I don't know how far we're going to get. I hesitate to do too many installments because, I don't know, after the 8th shir, the 9th shir, I don't know how many people are still with me. You know what I mean? But that's really the yesod. The yesod is Yisrael and bris. We have a Shem Yisrael and we're b'nei bris. And for every halacha you have to know, does this pertain to our Shem Yisrael, or does this pertain to our being b'nei bris? Those are the questions. And how does the mumrus play into this? So hopefully that will be zocha to see. But for the yesod that we have to establish right now is that there are two aspects of our being Jewish. Number one is that we have a Shem Yisrael, we have to keep mitzvahs. And number two, we are members of the covenant. Rashi Tehillim Perek Nun Pasuk Hey Asvili Chaside etc. Korsei Brisi Ale Zavach Zokt Rashi that they were makabel the Torah bebris v'zevach, as it says Hinei Dam Bris Asher Karas Hashem, and that's what we were saying, that there's a chaloitz v'shem nifrat shel Chasidai. Asvili Chasidai. They're not only makabel Torah, they're also korsei brisi ale zevach ala Torah. They are also making a covenant with Hashem on this Torah. And that's Mavur Miloshan Abraisa B'Krisus Tav Tes Amud Aleph U'Berashi B'Rambam B'Perek Yud Gimel Milchos Isurei Bia Halacha Aleph, with three things Nichnasu Avaseinu Lebris B'Mila V'Tvila V'Korban. And that's also this Mahalach of Gerus L'Doris. So you see that bris is a Chalois B'Yisrael, Nichnasu Lebris, and that's the Mahalach of Gerus. And there's a Knisa to this bris. And we learn also the Doris, there's a Knisa. So it's mashma that the Mahalach of Gerus L'Doros is not to become a Yisrael, it's to be Nichnas Lebris. Shebeshloishet Dvarim Nichnu Avaseinu Lebris. Nichnasu Avaseinu Lebris. Umeheyoso Bibris. Once you come into the covenant, Memela, you become a Jew. You become a Yisrael. Kamayid, as they say in Portuguese. And so writes the Rambam in the 13th paragraph of Surei Bi Halacha Dalet. V'chein L'Doros, K'sheyirtza Agoy L'ikonis L'Bris, L'stoifev Tachas Kanfei Ashchina, V'yakabel Olav Old Torah, Tzarech Mila, etc. In other words, Gerus is Knisa LaBris, which means to be Mistoifev Tachas Kanfei Ashchina. And the Mahus of this Bris is Kabbalat Old Torah. She'al zeh yeshna bris. And Gerus is not enough to be Bekabel Bris. There also has to be Mila and Tvila. That's the Knisa LaBris, like our Avos. So it's Mavur that there's a Chalos Miyuchedes in Yisrael Shel Knisa LaBris. And that's apparently what's talking about in Shavuos, Lamed Tes Amud Aleph. Moshe was mashbia, the Jewish people, in other words, the bris, if you see there in the sugya. What about the Doros Habayim and the Gerim Hasidim Lizgayer? What about the future generations? So the pasuk says, even those who aren't here. But it's very difficult to understand. The Nidon in the Gemara, discussion in the Gemara, is Hashbas Moshe Bahar Sinai. So what do we bring a Makor and the Brits of Arvis Moav? Maybe that's something else. Taras Chaim is omen on this, the Maharsha is merames to this. But based on what we said, it's very good. Because since the bris is not a dvar chizuk ba'alma, it's a mohuz ba'am Yisrael, it's not just Torah and mitzvahs, it's a bris. If we see in bris arvis moav, that was ba'oifen shel, it's a sher yeshno po'ayom, v'etz a sher enenu po'ayom. So that's a chalois ben bris, that's chol ba'am Yisrael. And memela it's mischai from this, that was also in the bris Sinai. Because that's creating the same chalos. So just like Bris Arvis Moav is in the Knisa LaBris, so to Bris Har Sinai is obviously also. And if Bris Arvis Moav is mufurish that it was chal on the people who weren't there, so to the Bris of Sinai. And this apparently is mafurish in the sugya and Gittin on Chav Gimel Amud Beis. The Gemara asks, and what we see there, that an Eved can become a Shliach. We find that Akum is not, can't become a Shliach. And the reason apparently is because we learned what it says by Shlichus by Truma, Atem gam atem lerabos shluchachem. Ma atem Yisrael, af shluchachem Yisrael. Just like you're Jews, so too your Shlichim have to be Jews. And that's Memait Akum. And then the Gemara brings from the Rabbi Yanai, Lo ma'atem b'nei bris, af shluchachem b'nei bris. In other words, there are two mitziuyot umahuyot within the word atem, you, b'nei Yisrael. Number one, you're Yisrael, ma'atem Yisrael. And an Eved is not included in that. And B, bris, that there is a bris, ma'atem b'nei bris, af shluchachem b'nei bris. And that would apply. So one of them is that we're Jews. Ma'atem l'Rabba shluchacha ma'atem Yisrael av shluchachem Yisrael. Is an Eved Yisrael? No. He's not the Ma'atem of Yisrael. But he is part of the covenant. He is part of the bris. And therefore, an Eved is included in Ma'atem b'nei bris, av shluchachem b'nei bris. So first the Gemara was bothered how it could possibly be that an Eved is a shliach. He's memuat from the atem, that he's not a Yisrael. And then the Gemara answers no, but he's part of the covenant. He's part of the bris. So as part of the bris, he is shayach to shlichus. And therefore an Eved can be a shliach, because an Eved is chayiv in mitzvahs like a woman, so he's also part of the bris. And this is mavur more in Rashi. La'afuke oved kochavim, aval Eved ben brisu. T'chsiv michote veitzecha at shoev meimecha. This excludes an idolater, but an Eved is a ben bris, because it says mechote veitzecha at shoev meimecha. From the one who cuts your wood until the one who draws your water. What does mechote veitzecha ad shoev meimecha have to do with anything? Rashi himself there in Dibur Maschil Lo Matem B'nei Bris writes, Mehulim v'chayavim b'mitzvahs. So we see that a ben bris is a chiyuv mitzvahs. So an Eved is mahul, and he's chayiv in mitzvahs. Mele is a ben bris. So what is Rashi bringing? Mechote veitzecha ad shoev meimecha. Madne. The Achronim are all made on this. You can look in the Otzar Mefarshei Talmud. But this would seem to be like we've been saying, that a ben bris is not what he's chayav b'mitzvahs because he was mitzvah al yidei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's not a chalos. That's not an inyan of being similar to Atem. B'nai Noach were also commanded in the 7 mitzvahs. What does it matter how many? It has to be similar to Atem. There has to be a chalos, that the Eved is like the Jew, that he's also a ben bris, and he has a shem gavra of ben bris. Like Rashi writes. And when Rashi writes, Mehulim v'chayavim b'mitzvahs, it means that there is a mehus, that he's in this bris. So there's a bris milah, which is a chalos b'fnei atzma b'nei Yisrael, and there's another chalos b'mitzvahs. That's what Rashi says. They're mehulim, they're in that bris, and they're also in the bris of being chayiv in mitzvahs. How do we know that the Eved is in this bris of chiyuv mitzvahs? Mechote veitzecha ad shoev meimecha. That's the bris of Arvas Moav. And this bris also makes this chalos of being in the bris. And who are the chote veitzecha? The avadim. And that shows they're also b'nei bris. Who are the ones cutting down the trees? The avadim. They're also b'nei bris. That's why Rashi brought down this pasuk. Because Rashi is trying to tell us that they are part of the covenant. And that's why they're similar to Atem. And that's learned from Mechote Veitzecha Shoev Meimecha, which is said about the bris. We also see this in the Gemara and in the Mishnah Bava Kama, Yadalat Amid Beis, and Chiyuv Nezikin Shu B'nei Choron Ub'nei Bris. And the Gemara there explains in Tesvav Amid Aleph that it's talking about Eidus to Nezikin, that we require B'nei Choron, and that's Memayid Avadim, and we require B'nei Bris, that's Memayid Akum. And you need to be Memayid both, because you might think that Avadim are not B'nei Chayis. They don't have Yichus, but a guy does, so he can be made. Kamash Milan, that even a guy is possible. And a guy is lav b'nei mitzvahs, so So he's puzzle. Mashen Kain Eved is b'nei mitzvah. So you would think an Eved is kosher kamashlan that he's puzzle. So why didn't we just say Yisrael? And Yisrael is memayed an Eved and an Akum. Like the Gemara in Gittin says. Ma'atem Yisrael, Shulchachem Yisrael, that's memayed, both an Eved and an Akum. So just say Yisrael. Why do we need to both? Then you don't have to be mefared. Both B'nai Chorin and B'nai Bris. And why is it talui in being B'nai Bris? Normally we say he's a Jew and he's a guy. But here it says no. He's a Ben Bris and he's an Akum. Why is it talui in being a Ben Bris? We could say as follows. The Rambam says in the 8th parak of Nizkei Mammon, Halacha Yud Gimel, in the Russian, that sugya, that the reason they'd be kosher le'edus is because they are around. They're the ones who are most likely to be made. And since the Avadim or the Eved or the Akum, they're the ones who are likely to give this testimony to reach the Lashon of the Rambam, damages shouldn't be collected, nor is an atonement fine imposed, nor is an animal executed, unless definite proof is brought, as substantiated by acceptable witnesses. We don't say that since only shepherds, servants, and the like are found in the stables of horses, the stalls of cattle, and the corrals of sheep, their testimony should be accepted. It's not so. So you see that they're the ones who are going to be testifying. They're the ones, the Avadim, the Akum, they're the ones who are going to be with the animals. So Memela, you would think that their testimony is good testimony. That there's a takana miyuchedes, that their edus works for Nezikin. Zenemar, why is there no such takana? Because there is a chisaron be'etzem agavra. He's not a gavra le'edus. What's the chisaron in the gavra? And that the Gemara says, avad, and the chisaron is ein lo chayis. And it's compared to an Amadoim Alechamor. And the Akum, because the Achamor also doesn't have a Yichus. And an Akum is Chaser in the Gavra because he's not part of the Bris. Because not part of the Bris, as we said before, it's a Chisaron in the Gavra. So this is a Pagam, that he's not a Ben Bris. But the fact that they're not a Yisrael is not a Pagam in the Gavra. So that's why we said both. We didn't just say Yisrael and that's Memayit, Eved, and Akum. We said that B'nai Chorin is Memayit Avadim and B'nai Bris is Memayit Akum. You need to have a special miyad for each one. The fact that the Akum is not B'nai Bris is a Pagam in the Akum. And the Avadim are Memuad also for a different reason. They're not free, so they have no Yichus. So it's a Pagam in the Gavra. And that's what makes them Pasal Eidus. But you see that this idea of not being a Ben Bris is a Pagam Be'etzem. It's a Pagam in the Gavra. And Mamela, if somebody is a Ben Bris, that's a Maila in the Gavra. And we see this Mefurish in the Bryce and Sanhedrin Ayin Beis Amid Beis. Roidev. Shahaya. Somebody's running after his friend to kill him. Omer lo reish Yisraelu ben Brisu. You hear the Lashon? Here's to our Lashon. Look that he's a Yisrael and he's a ben Bris. V'atayra Amra Shoifech Dam Adam be'Adam Dam o Yishafech Ayin Sham Besugya. Shezoi hatra'a l'chayvo mita. That's the Hasra. He's Yisrael, he's a ben Bris, and the Torah says that if you spill blood, your blood is spilled. So it's mafurish in the Braisa. It's mafurish in the Braisa that there are two inyanim shonim, that Aser is Hariga, and they're Mechayev Misa, the Horeg. Number one is Yisrael. He's Yisrael, how can you kill a Yisrael? And number two, he's a ben Bris. And that's a Dover Nosaf. It's another reason why you're not allowed to kill him. He's a ben Bris. So based on this, it's mamish kavaldik. That vadai a mummer is chayev b'chol haTorah kula. Because Yisrael, afal pi shachata Yisrael. But that's only vis-a-vis his mahus ki Yisrael, that he's mischayev b'chol haTorah kula. But from the mahus of being a ben bris that every Jew has, that's nifka. That's removed from the mummer. That's relinquished by the mummer when he took himself out of the klal. Like we see in the Pesukim Parshat Nitzavim. Al asher azu es bris Hashem Elokecha. You can leave the bris. You can't leave being a Jew, but you can leave the bris. Malachim Aleph, Perek Yates Pasuk Yud, and their Pasuk Yudalid. Ki azu es bris B'nai Yisrael. So, Hava Pishachat Yisrael is the Yisrael, like we see in Sanhedrin Mem Daled. And all dinim that are totally in being a Yisrael remain, even if he's a mummer. But when he's no longer a ben bris, a mummer and apostate is not a ben bris. Somebody converts to Christianity, he's not part of the covenant anymore. And any halacha, talui, in being a ben bris, does not apply to him. And hopefully we'll see various dinim, where yes, where no. So that's the Yesod HaDvarim. And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is kind to me, and he gives me the koach, and the moach, and the simchas chayim, hopefully we'll be able to learn together a lot more inyanim related to this very, very important question, very yesodistic question. And we give ourselves a bracha that we should be zocha lilmodu l'lamed lishmor v'lasos, Ulekayim is called Divrei Salmud Torasa v'Ahava, and all those who left the bris, we give them a bracha that Vishavu Banim Ligvulam, that they should return to the faith of their ancestors and leave all of these foreign idols, Rachmana litzlan, and we should be Zocha B'Karav Mamish, the Geula Hashlema, the Mehera v'Yameinu Amen v'Amen, Shalom Shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.